Hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is Amanda and this is my little corner of the internet all about knitting. Today's video is a regular sit-down knitty project video, podcast video, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be talking about all of the projects that I've finished knitting, all the projects I've cast on, everything I've been working on over the past couple weeks. So hopefully you are ready to sit down and chat, have something nice and cozy to drink, some sort of fun knitting project to work on, and let's jump on in. So I think it was last sit down episode that I talked about wanting to finish this cardigan I'm wearing. I had one sleeve left on it and it has been languishing since I think this time last year, November-ish, December-ish last year, and it just really needed to get done. So I'm very excited to say this is a finished object for this episode. So I will show it to you in just a moment. We'll chat about it a little quickly first though. I have to say I don't remember a lot of details about it because it's been so long, but I do know the size I knit, the yarn I used, that sort of thing. So this is the Daft Days cardigan. It's a pattern by Clow. It came out last year for her Advent knitting pattern, and the idea was to use every single one of your 24 Advent skeins. So every stripe would be a different skein from your yarn Advent calendar. I was not obviously, I guess, it's been a year. I was test knitting this pattern. So instead of using an Advent calendar, I just used some yarn in my stash. And I know last episode I had no idea what the colors were, but I do know this time. So these are all Birch and Lily Fiber Co. on the Birch DK base, which is 100% superwash merino. And colorways. The darkest one here is Graphite. This blue is Kindred Spirits, Christine, Serendipity, and JiIllian. So I did 4 different colors. The other thing I modified, the stripes were supposed to be 2 rows each, and I did double the thickness of the graphite stripes just to give the black a little bit more of a pop and make the colors stand out a little bit more. So I literally just put the buttons on this today, cut all the ends, and I'm really excited to show you. So right off the bat, you're probably going to notice I don't particularly fit this cardigan right now. Reason being, when I started knitting this, I was not pregnant, and now I am, 26 weeks pregnant this week? So the fit is a little bit interesting, but as you can see, I am quite pregnant. It doesn't close, but yeah, I think it turned out really well. I'm excited to, I don't really close cardigans a lot. I wear them open most of the time, so like, I'm not super hurt that it doesn't fit me great right now, but I think it's still pretty cute, especially with the bump. So there you have it. Drop shoulder cardigan. This is the size 4, I believe. And yeah, I think it's pretty cute. So yeah, like I said, it doesn't fit me perfectly right now. I think the sleeves are a little bit tight. A lot of my clothes are tight these days. I have been having quite a time learning how to dress my pregnant body. It's been fun, but also interesting. I feel like it's hard to dress up. I really only feel comfortable in leggings or dresses, which I'm not a huge dress person, so I really only feel comfortable in leggings. And yeah, it's just been weird trying to find my sense of style now that I am a mom and I'm expecting a baby. So that's why I was really excited when the sponsor of today's video, Luisa Jewelry, contacted me and asked if they could send me a couple different pieces to try out. I have worked with Luisa in the past. They've sent me some jewelry before, and I'm wearing a couple of the new pieces that they sent me, as well as a piece that I wear very often, actually. I love the simplicity of this one, and I feel like it matches with everything. This here is the willow coin necklace in the color silver, and then the earrings that I have on the Toda earrings in silver, as well as I thought I would try out a cuff because I'm never gonna pierce my ears again. I'm too shaken to do so. So I thought I would try out an ear cuff. This is the Jordana ear cuff, and I do believe it only comes in the gold color, but I thought it was something fun to try out and spice up my jewelry a little bit. So yeah, Ana Luisa sent these pieces over to me to try a good month ago. I've been wearing them pretty darn often since then. I have accidentally fallen asleep and had many a nap in these Toda earrings, and they have held up really well. So I feel like that is quite a testament to the quality of their jewelry. With Black Friday coming up at the end of this week, I think now is a really good time to try out some new jewelry, treat yourself, treat someone you love. And Ana Luisa has some really good sales going on right now for Black Friday. The more you purchase, the more you save. So I think pieces start at about $39, and if you get a couple pieces and kind of create your own little jewelry set, you'll save more money the more pieces you add to your cart. They also do have free USA shipping, and it's super, super fast. They shipped these to me, and I think they were at my house in maybe 2 or 3 days. But if you are interested in grabbing some jewelry, I do have a link down below in the description where you can check out everything from Ana Luisa. I have been very, very happy with all of the pieces that they've sent to me. They've all held up really well. Nothing has tarnished. I've had this willow necklace, I think, since June. And am I the best at taking care of my jewelry? No. And it's still looking really, really good. So definitely click that link down below in the description if you're interested. But yeah, let's jump back into the knitting, shall we? I think I said everything I wanted to about the Daft days. If you have any questions about it, I will try my best to maybe find a video or something that I talked about it in last year and see if I can find some more information because I really, like I said, don't know too much about what I did with this other than the yarn, and I know the stripe situation, what I did with that. I guess I could show you the buttons close up as well too. These are just cheap little things. Got them from Hobby Lobby, but they are a little bit blue tinted. I had a really hard time picking out buttons to go with this because this graphite color is a little bit more of a slatey sort of blue-gray as well. But these I think work pretty good. I would say they're like a dark, dark navy sort of color. And they blend in quite nicely to the button band, which was kind of what I was looking for. I feel like the rest of the body of this sweater, especially with the texture and all the colors going on, is quite busy, and so I didn't want the buttons to stand out as well either. I didn't want them to be the statement of the piece. I wanted the stripes and the texture to be that way, so I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with it, I think, and I'm shocked how good it looks with this, what do you call this, not olive, like sagey green shirt. I also was having a hard time figuring out what I wanted to do for a shirt with this because not many of my shirts fit anymore. I either wear like big cozy sweaters, which I am thankful I am pregnant in the fall and winter, like the most pregnant, because all of my sweaters and stuff are big and oversized, so they fit pretty good over the bump, and then I put on a pair of leggings and I feel great. But yeah, I was having a hard time picking out a shirt, and I also knew with me filming, there was no way I was gonna put a long sleeve shirt under this. So this is just a t-shirt, and I think it's working all together pretty darn good. I feel like the whole outfit is quite put together. So that's the only finished object I have. I do feel like I've made a lot of progress on some other stuff though. I'm really excited to show you a lot of stuff I've been working on. I am slightly ashamed to say, well, not really. I've been knitting for myself. That baby sweater cardigan I started has not been touched. I will. I just need to get that sleeve ripped out, and then once I get past that hump, I'll be going and finishing that sucker in no time. But I've just felt like knitting for myself lately, and I think that's fine. So let's jump into works in progress. First one here is in this really cute, I think I say that every time. There must be fruit snacks in the bottom here, man. Yep, fruit snacks. That's the crinkle. I apologize. I love this bag. It is from, I think, Knits from Michigan Woods, and it's just so cute. So, and I love the leather handles. I love the canvas fabric. It's really sturdy and really lovely. This is my Kintra sweater by Rebecca Clow. I am knitting this out of a advent calendar and like a main color. So the advent calendar, I don't have all the minis here. They're all in a box downstairs, but I do have the main color. This is from Woolberry Fiber Co. And I'm blanking on the color name. It is called Summer Holiday. This is on their Berry Merino base, which is just 100% superwash merino fingering weight, also known as 4-ply, I have come to learn from this pattern. I don't know why I didn't know that before. I think 4-ply is more of like a UK, Europe term, but fingering weight, 4-ply, whatever you want to call it, this is 100% superwash merino. So this is my main color. And then, like I said, I'm using the Advent for the contrast. And oh, I want to grab my hanger again. That worked really well last time. I feel like the hanger kind of gave, especially depending on what point I was at with certain things, gave the garment some shape as opposed to me just like awkwardly holding it up and trying to explain what's going on. And especially for this one, because I just split for the sleeves, I think, yes, it will be very helpful. So here is my Kintra. As you can see, I have all 24 minis in here, which is super cool. An aside, I was rushing to finish this because I'm going to see the Wicked movie with some friends on Saturday, and I wanted some stockinette knitting. And so I knew if I could get through all of this color work, which it was fun rushing, it was not stressed rushing, but if I could get through all of that, I would have a stockinette body to knit, and I did it. So I am ready to go for the movie. Anyways, I am knitting the size 5, like I said, the fingering weight version, and it's been really fun. It has a folded over collar. It is a 1x1 rib. I did knit my collar inside out. I find my ribbing, my 1x1 ribbing, is always better if I knit it and then I make the wrong side my right side. I just find for some reason, I think my purls are a little bit tighter on the wrong side, so it makes it look a little bit better. Here's a look at all of the color work. Oh, I think it's so pretty. And then it also has, which I thought was really neat, because you're probably looking at this, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know I hate yoked sweaters. I don't like how they fit me, but this starts off yoked, but then I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There is some raglan shaping, there you go, so that the fit is better. So I'm really excited to see how that makes a difference in the fit of a yoked sweater for me. I think it's going to help stop, you know, with a yoked sweater, if you've knit one before, you lift up your arms and it like lifts the whole sweater with you and it just feels weird and wrong. I'm hoping those raglan stitches help fix that problem. There also are short rows in the back after the color work, which is something I've also never done before. I've only ever done short rows like in the ribbing or right after the ribbing, so then you kind of have like a gap in the back of just the main color, or you have to do short rows, color work short rows, and that's not fun. So I'm interested to see short rows after the color work in this section are supposed to do, and looking at how it's sitting on the hanger, the exact same thing as short rows just below the ribbing, which is to help lift the back of the sweater so that it sits properly and it doesn't rise and bunch in the front, because the way our bodies are shaped, they need a little bit more fabric in the back. So we'll see how that goes as well. But yeah, I've split for the sleeves now. That raglan stuff is all done. You do that before you split for the sleeves. So the sleeves are on hold on some try it on tubing now, and the body is ready to fly. So yeah, let me give you another shot of the color work here. I just think it's so pretty and so fall. These colors are beautiful. This is the Stress Knit Yarns Advent Calendar from 2022. Yeah, I was originally knitting a shawl out of it, and fun fact, I think I said last episode I hadn't torn the shawl out yet because I thought I would have enough yarn to not have to, and I didn't. So the shawl is still there, and I do actually still have some yarn from this, so maybe one day I'll finish the shawl. I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about it. So we will see what happens with that shawl, but the sweater, I am very, very pleased with this sweater. So I think it's gonna look great. I'm knitting the size 5 because it's going to be a little bit more oversized. Hopefully will fit over my belly half decent. I think the body, or the pattern calls to knit the body to 11 inches from the underarm. I think I'll do that and then try it on and decide if, which I probably do, I need some extra fabric in there and maybe just a little bit of extra length so that I don't feel like my belly's hanging. Well, not that it's going to be hanging out, that the sweater cuts off at a funny spot on my belly. I've knit sweaters to, I think, like 15 inches before and they fit great. So I think even if I knit it to that length to work with my body now, that once my body is a little bit more back to its usual self, it will still look great. So yeah, that is my Kintra sweater. I think it's so pretty. I love the colors on myself, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, wow, so pretty. And I'm so glad I'm using up an advent calendar. I feel like sometimes I love having advent calendars. I think they're the perfect Christmas present. It's what my husband gets me basically every year for Christmas now. I just tell him which advent calendar interests me that year and he orders it and it's my present, and he doesn't even have to wrap anything. It just shows up wrapped and ready for him. So it's a win-win all around. But I'm glad that I was able to use it into something, or for something, that I'm really, really going to love. So that is my Kintra. Let's talk about my Artisane next. I have another tote bag, another canvas tote bag. This one is from Wool and Honey. I feel like I haven't showed it in a while. But another really great tote bag. And my Artisane is a pattern by Sandnes Garn. It is, I'm gonna call it, I think, how do I put this? I think my version is going to end up being more of a jacket just because of the type of yarn I'm using, how I'm using it, the weight of it in my hands. I'm okay with that. I think it's wonderful. I think I definitely have more of a jacket version going on. So last time with this, I'm trying to think. I think the body was done. Maybe I picked up for like a little bit of one sleeve. And that was about it. And this, don't even ask. Ooh, I don't even want to think about that right now. But the Artisane, I am knitting the size large for this. I am knitting this out of Explore Knits and Fibers Rockies DK held double. The pattern itself calls for, let me see here. Oh, the Kintra, the last one I was knitting, it doesn't have a called for yarn because it's meant to be used with advents. So at least from what I know so far from the testing information, there's no called for color. Or yarn, rather. But for this one, the called for yarn for the Artisane is Sandnes Garn Double Sunday, which is 100% superwash merino, which is a 100% non-superwash merino wool, 118 yards per 50 grams, held double with Sandnes Garn Tin Silk Mohair, which is 57% mohair, 28% silk, 15% wool, 232 yards per 25 grams. And yeah, I basically matched gauge with with Rockies DK from Explore Knits and Fibers held double. Rockies DK, I would say, personally, in my opinion, is a sport weight. So that is where that is. And gosh, this thing is huge now. I have both of the sleeves on the go. This sleeve, which is on hold right now, has all of the sleeve decreases done. And so then I decided to move on to this sleeve, do all the sleeve decreases, and then see how much yarn I have left, because I am on my last 2 balls, and split it accordingly. Now, one thing I did notice, and this is my own fault because I did have to purchase another skein of yarn from someone because I knew I was going to run out, is that this sleeve is coming out a wee bit darker. You can definitely see it even more on camera, which is a little disappointing, but I don't think it's terribly noticeable, especially when it's like hanging like this. So the skeins themselves look very similar. I think it might have something to do also with the fact that I didn't split the skeins in half. So this sleeve I did from the outside of both of the cakes, and this sleeve I'm doing from the inside of both of the cakes, and I'm thinking that just how they were dyed, the one end of the cake is a little bit more saturated than the other. But like I said, when you hold it like this, I don't really see it. I don't think it's too bad. And I think once I wash and block everything, it's going to become even less noticeable. So I'm trying not to be sad about it. Yeah, I'm almost done the decreases on this sleeve now. And then we will move on to that splitting of the yarn. That's the best way to put it. I did try this on though with this sleeve, and oopsies. I did try it on though with the sleeve that has all the decreases done, and it's hitting about here. So I think I should have plenty of yarn to just like go straight into the rib, which is, I'm going to do about 3 inches of ribbing. And then once I block it, it should hit about here, which is where I usually like it to hit. So I think I'm gonna just sneak by with enough yarn. So yeah, that is where this is at. Actually, here, I was good and put a marker on this. That's where I was last time. You'd think I'd remember about progress keepers after podcasting for, I think we're 6 years this November. But no, why would I? I don't have anything else written particularly special about this. Just sleeve island. It's, yeah. And this mess, I guess I said don't ask me about it, but that's because I am pulling from both ends of the cake and did not properly prepare for that. And I'm just kind of shoving it down and pretending it's not there. So, yeah. Anyways, this is getting so close to being done. I really should pull this sucker out and just plow through and finish it, because I think it's going to be great for the winter, especially with my big belly, because I just rolled the yarn up in my chair. So that's fun. We're gonna deal with that later. Yeah, it's something I really should sit down and finish, because with me being pregnant this winter, my winter coat doesn't fit me. I don't want to spend $150 on a winter coat that I'm gonna wear for like a couple months. So something warm like that I think would make a great winter coat substitution. So I really should get my butt in gear and finish that. But I'm going to pause and get this yarn out of the chair before I start rolling around again and then make it even worse, and then I'm gonna have to cut it, and then I'm gonna be very upset. So give me a moment. Okay, that was an easier fix than I thought, thank goodness. So yarn is saved. The other, like, in progress project, I guess is the best way to put it, I have on the go is my Midland cardigan. I had a fun time showing this last time. I'm probably gonna have to do the same thing I did on last episode, where I blew up the exposure for this portion of the podcast so that you can see what's going on, because the camera just doesn't want to pick up this yarn. It's the most beautiful, deep, purpley red, I don't even know how to describe it. The yarn is, let me grab the cake actually. The yarn is Woolberry Fiber Co as well. I'm trying to work through my stash. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. This is Woolberry Fiber Co. Berry DK. It's 100% superwash merino, 231 yards per 100 grams. And the color is called Flower Farm. I'll tell you the called for yarn really quick too while we're on that topic. Laura Penrose. Did I say this is by Laura Penrose? It's the Midland cardigan by Laura Penrose. She calls for Woolly Mammoth Fiber Co. Hearth DK, which is 50% BFL, 50% Jacob wool, 263 yards per 100 grams. So my yarn is a little bit thicker. Anyways, let me put it on the hanger, and then we will mess with the exposure in post here so that you can see what is going on, because I got a lot done. I am very pleased. I think I'm gonna have to step back for this one as well. I think last time I had almost the whole body done. I have the whole body done now, and I put on the button band, or this is not the button band, my word, the hem. Put on the hem. I did that this morning. So it is just a 1x1 rib, and I did do combination knitting for it just to make my 1x1 rib as neat as I can for a flat 1x1 rib. Basically, the quickest way to say is with combination knitting, you wrap your purls the opposite way so that it tightens them up, but then on the following row, that makes all your knit stitches twisted, so you have to untwist them while still wrapping your purl stitch the wrong way. I hope that makes sense. I can try and link a video if you're confused. I think Andrea Mowry has a really good one. But yeah, so that's done. I seamed the sides together, which I think turned out pretty good. And I think tonight I want to pick up the button band for this. It's going to have a double knit button band. So I think I'm going to spend my evening doing that. But yeah, I put it on. Oh my gosh, it fits so good. Even with the baby belly. How many times can I talk about my stomach in this episode, honestly? But it fits so good. I want this to be my Christmas sweater. Let me find, I haven't talked about the buttons I'm gonna use in a couple episodes, but it's gonna be so pretty. These are from Denim and Rain. She gifted them to me quite some time ago, and I've been hoarding them for the perfect project, and this is 100% the perfect project. So yeah, this is the size 4, and I'm a little concerned about my yarn. I just caked up my last 2 skeins this morning. So I don't know how long the sleeves are supposed to be knit to. 1 second, please. Let us see. I have, like I said, the button band left to do, and then the 2 sleeves. The sleeves are a little bit tighter of a fit. They're more of a snug fit, so that I think helps a lot as for yarn management. But let's see, sleeve length. Oh, yeah, they're only supposed to be like 14 inches. So that's not, I think I'll be fine. I'm not too worried. Now that I look at that, I just caked them up and then moved on to some other things that I had to do today. I had a really busy knitting full day. I put the buttons on this cardigan, did the whole hem on this, and I finished a swatch, which I'm going to show you after I talk about the Midland. So yes, that is my Midland. I'm not going to show it too much longer because I'm sure the blown up exposure is kind of a nuisance, but it's so pretty. I'm going to try really hard this evening to get a good reel taken of it, or just some B-roll even, because the last time I tried to take it, my iPhone blew the footage out really bad and it just did not look good. So the joys of content creation, trying to make everything look like it does to my eyeballs. It's very hard, very, very hard. That is the last project that I need my hanger for. The final one I have is a new cast on. If you watched my last video, which was colorwork Christmas sweaters, this was the last pattern I talked about, and I did go into detail about how I was casting it on. This is the Pine Forest cardigan. It is a pattern by Martin Storey. It is designed for Rowan yarn. So I'm waffling between doing the size 3 or 4. I'm waiting on seeing how my swatch dries, which I'm going to show you in a second, to decide if I want to do the size 3 or 4. I'm kind of in between the 2 sizes, not currently, but at my normal body weight. So one end of me wants to knit what would fit my normal self, but the other wants to knit what would fit me now, and just know that it's going to be a little oversized later, which I think is what I'm leaning towards. So that would mean I would knit the size 4, because if you can see the cardigan, I'm sure I had put it on the screen already. If you look at the photos of it, it is an oversized cardigan as it is. Also, it's only really a Christmas cardigan, so I kind of like I said, oversized stuff in the fall and winter anyways. So I think I'm leaning towards the size 4. But this calls for Rowan felted tweed. It is 30% wool, 25% viscose, and 25% alpaca, 191 yards per 50 grams. I ended up ordering, which I should grab it to show you in a moment. I ended up ordering Drops Alpaca, which is 100% alpaca, and it's 183 yards per 50 grams. So let me grab my bag of yarn. Okay, so for my main color, I'm using, do these have color names on them? Dang it! So this is 0100, so 100. we'll call it 100. It's blowing out a little bit on the screen. It's definitely a really light cream. And then for my contrast colors, I'm using these. So I would call them Muted Christmas. That's kind of what I'm going for. That's one of the reasons I really loved this pattern when I saw it, was because it was Christmassy but not in your face Christmassy. So I think it's going to be really pretty. Now, one of the reasons I blocked my swatch, among obviously knowing gauge, here's my swatch, is wanting to know if the darker colors bleed. I am not 100% sure right now because this is still damp. I just took it out of the water before I started recording, and it's hard to tell if I'm just seeing the blue yarn from behind the white or if it bled. But I'm almost leaning towards, which is going to be a lot of annoying work, but I think I'm going to be happier with myself if I do it, turning these all into hanks and blocking them or washing them first to ensure that they don't bleed on the cream. Because I think if I didn't do that, knowing my luck, they would bleed and I would be so upset, especially because this is basically a fingering weight all over colorwork sweater that I'm looking at wanting to do. So I think if I put in all that work and it bled, I would be, well, I know if I put in all that work and it bled, I would be absolutely devastated. So I think what I need to spend, I don't know, this weekend, the next day or two doing is taking all of these and converting them into hanks and washing them. I'll probably wash them, I'm trying to decide if I want to wash them with a little bit of citric acid or with vinegar. I guess really both of those are going to do the same thing, and citric acid has less of a smell. So I'm probably better off washing them with a little bit of citric acid and then rinsing that and then doing just some wool wash and letting them dry. I can put them through my spin dryer and they'll dry in a day or two and it won't be bad at all. So I think even though I really don't want to, I think I need to do that because I'm just going to be so incredibly devastated if this bleeds. I haven't checked my gauge on this yet to see if I got it. I knit this up with 2.75 millimeter needles, I think. Maybe about 7.5 stitches per inch. So what does this pattern call for gauge? Let's see. I can't remember. Let's do some on the fly mathing. Yeah, 27 stitches per inch. Interesting. I thought I was knitting this almost too loose. Well, that's good to know. So I bet you if I knit the size 4, it would be a little bit oversized, but not as oversized as I was originally thinking, which might be nice. Okay, so I love doing these podcast episodes because I'm not like directly talking to someone, but I don't know, talking through things out loud helps me make decisions. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the size 4, and I am 99.9% sure I'm going to turn these into hanks and wash them. I guess I would do that tonight while I was editing. It's pretty mindless, and I have to pay attention. That might be a good idea, even if I did a couple of them. Thankfully, I'm not going to have to do that with the cream. So let's see, how many skeins does that leave me to do that with? We'll see how much I despise my choices. 3, 6, 10. That's not horrible. That's what it is. But I think I'm going to be much happier with that decision in the long run. So thanks for helping me decide. Anyways, don't think I have much else to talk about knitty-wise. I've really been enjoying what I've been working on. Let me know what you've been working on down below in the comments. I love to hear about your projects. It inspires me and it helps me find new things to knit as well. Are you gift knitting this year? I fully 100% decided I'm not gift knitting, so I'm curious if anyone else has decided that this year or if there's lots of people still gift knitting. I just knew I didn't want to have that under my belt this year, so. There are some people I had promised things to way, way before I knew I was expecting a baby. And yeah, those plans all flew out the window. So there is that. But yeah, let me know what you're working on. Make sure you check out Ana Luisa down below in the description. Like I said, my link is down there if you're interested in shopping any of their pieces. They would make some really great Christmas presents if you have decided to not gift knit this year as well. So that link is down there for you if you're interested. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate if you consider doing so. It helps the channel out a lot, gets videos recommended more on YouTube so other knitters like you can see them. And I will see you very soon next week for some sort of video. I haven't been planning them lately. I've kind of been on the fly videoing. So if you have a request that you would like to make for a video, please let me know as well down below in the description. And I will see you next week. Bye!